Okay, I believe we are live. Yep, we sure are. All right, so let me find the feed here and welcome. Say hello when you are here. I have to look on my phone here and all that stuff at the same time. So let me open this up. I'm going to turn the volume down. Hey, Ida. Okay. So let me know when you guys are here. I'm going to get set up and then we are going to get rocking and rolling. Oh, I got to share my screen. Duh. Where was I at? Here I am. Share and share. Okay. This is cool. Let me see. Hopefully if I do the view of the slide only, it won't screw up my, oh gosh. Let me see if I do it this way here. Okay. Well, hey everyone. Welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I hope you guys are enjoying the text messages that as reminders for you. I think that that's pretty helpful for a lot of people. Keep you accountable with coming, right? So let's get started. Let's rock and roll, okay? So here we are, day 3 of the Balance Your Hormones for Fat Loss Challenge. I hope that what you have found so far in the presentations, I hope you found them valuable and informative. Hopefully you have been able to apply some of the learnings. And so let's get started here. Oops, did I go backwards? I think I did. Hold on. We don't want to go backwards in the presentation here. All right, sorry about that, you guys. All right, so view, slide only, view. I think I'm going to do the play. That's what it is. Okay, so day 3 is about, are you eating the right foods for your metabolic blueprint? Okay. And what we're going to dive deep into is your eating habits. All right. So does healthy foods equal fat loss? Now, here's the interesting thing. It's interesting to me what some people consider healthy. Now, for example, like I've had a couple of clients and when I've talked to them about, okay, what is it that you're eating? So if I ask somebody to give me just their food log, in their mind, they are eating healthy. So for example, one of the biggest things that people think is healthy is like cereal, because of the labels and things like Kashi cereal. And not to continue to get, I feel like I've got a hair in my eye, and not to continue to give Weight Watchers a bad rap, but you know, oftentimes there's like, okay, this is considered healthy. But here's the thing, you guys, I'm hoping that by day 3 here, that you're understanding that it's not, healthy foods doesn't necessarily always mean, it's not going to mean fat loss, right? So what we want to shift into is, how is this fuel going to affect my body on a cellular hormonal level? Now, here's the thing. The cereal on the left, extremely processed. Most of the Americans in the world would eat that probably with, let's say, 2 cups full, maybe even 4 cups full, because I don't know if you've seen my husband's or my son's servings or not. But let me tell you, I always say, oh my God, that serving is massive, with 2% milk and then maybe some orange juice on top of that. I mean, we're talking starch upon starch upon starch, maybe just a little bit of protein in there from the milk. And then over here, you've got, let's say, an example of some egg whites with several cups of vegetables. Now, the cereal on the left is going to affect you extremely different. It's like eating that donut, right? You are not going to be satiated. Your hunger levels are going to be temporarily full, and then you're going to be starving very soon. So it's not going to keep you full for a long period of time. Your energy is probably going to plummet and your cravings are going to go up. So kind of like what we had talked about before, is that what you eat for breakfast is ultimately going to affect what you're going to want and what you are ultimately going to eat for your breakfast, or excuse me, for your lunch and your dinner. So let me repeat that one more time. What you choose to eat for breakfast is going to affect what you're going to want and what you're going to eat for lunch and dinner. It just is how we are as humans, okay? So you're going to be affected very, very differently by these foods. Now, in our world, we think, okay, I want to lose weight. That means I need to reduce my calories. I need to eliminate everything. I need to exercise more and eat less. I need to, basically you're going in this mode of you are depriving. That's word, sorry. So the breakfast probably would look something like this small little bowl of cereal, but you feel so proud of yourself because you're reducing your servings, but you're not thinking about how this is affecting you on a cellular level. Then lunch comes around. Yeah, let me just have my measly peasly little salad. Maybe I'll put a little bit of vinegar on it and, I'll just jazz that up. Now I'm reducing my calories and I'm being a good girl. I'm following my rule book. I am not going to have a snack. Okay? Because I'm reducing my calories. And then you know what? I'm going to really exercise after work. So this is that exercise more, eat less model, the EMEL. You eat less, you exercise more, decreases your metabolic rate. Hence, over time, you're going to regain the weight. Your hunger, energy, and cravings over here are suffering. You're starving. Your energy sucks and you're craving like crazy. This is what creates metabolic dysfunction, my friends. Now, have you lived through this? Yes. Have I done it? Absolutely. Over and over and over again, but I don't do it anymore, And so because I didn't know what I didn't know. And so until you learn this information, you will continue to do this. And then you'll be like, why is it that I can lose some weight and then I gain weight, like I gain double of what I lost? Well, it's because of this. This is it right here. It's the metabolic dysfunction. You are messing up your hormonal metabolism. You are messing it up, baby. Sorry, but it's the truth. So here's the thing. Backing this up. So we're in this mode. We eat small. Our willpower battery is strong in the morning because we've also got this dopamine hit going on. You guys know I talk about the start over syndrome, how most people live in this little bell curve. They're starting over. They're excited. They're not feeling the consequences of any changes yet. And it's exciting. And they're not seeing any of discomforts, So they have this willpower, but what I want to tell you too is willpower depletes. It doesn't last for very long. Hence the reason why I want to show you throughout the day, your willpower is going to run out and get extremely low. So you started your day out with extremely low calories, not the right foods to keep your hunger, energy, and cravings balanced, and your willpower runs out. Then guess what? This becomes the food that you want, right? How many times have you, let's say you've gone to work or gone through your day, because, I got to speak to both ends. There's entrepreneurs like me that work from home. And then there's also people that actually leave their home and, they have control because they're at work, and when you're in this routine, but then all of a sudden you realize I'm fucking starving. My willpower is gone. I'm so tired. My energy level is hit. I'm so hungry and I'm craving everything. You come home and the plan was that you were going to eat this beautiful chicken, zucchini, carrots, mushrooms. That was the plan. You have it prepared, or maybe you have it ready to be cooked, but your human, like the psychological, the physiological stuff takes over. This is what you want. So you see this and you are like, yeah, forget it. Because you know what? Like I said, this becomes what you want. Because if you're controlling your hormones, if you're not controlling your hormones, this is what's going to happen because you are ignoring the human physiology. Okay? So all of your willpower has gone out the window. Your hunger, energy, and cravings are not balanced. Now, let's say, for example, we ate like this throughout the day. Let's say our day began with our beautiful omelet. Then let's say we had a snack that was maybe some almonds or something. And then we had a salad here with some chicken breast on it and, maybe an apple or, whatever for a snack. And then, we're feeling balanced. Let's say we run some errands, we go to the gym, what have you. We come home and we are feeling pretty good. This is waiting for us, and this is what we eat because we have not depleted our willpower, and also we have kept our hunger, energy, and cravings balanced. So we are not putting ourselves in the position of wanting those things. Now, how many of you, give me a 1, how many of you have done this? How many of you have done this where you have this intention, you think you're doing the right thing all day long, you think you're doing great, yeah, I'm watching my calories, doing this, and all of a sudden you're like, screw this, I'm gonna go right into the drive-thru to McDonald's, Burger King, Taco Bell, whatever it is, or you're gonna order a pizza, or maybe, once again, just like I mentioned yesterday, maybe this turns into the forever eating all night long. The forever eating. It starts at 5 or 6 because you're so fucking hungry. And then there comes the Haagen-Dazs and the cookies. And then you start to tell yourself, well, you know what? I'll just start over tomorrow. Or maybe if it's Friday, you might say, I'll just start over on Monday. This is the bullshit. Like, how fucked up is this? I did it for years. Trust me, I was the queen. I could teach a class on it, So yeah, I've done it over and over and over and over again. So here's the thing. The eat less, exercise more sets you up for failure. It does. It does not put you in a good position at all. All right. It's going to mess up your metabolism. You are going to go to metabolic dysfunction. So myself as a coach, this is what I do for my clients. Most people are in a position of metabolic dysfunction. When somebody comes to me, they have tried it all. They cannot lose the weight. They want to lose the weight. They don't know what to do. They feel like shit. They have no energy. They're hungry all the time and they're craving everything. It's because of the metabolic dysfunction. So I help them to do what? Balance their hormones, right? And so each person is different. So I have to give, my people take a couple of quizzes and it kind of helps us with the guideline as the starting point. But for the most part, like I had mentioned before, they now have to listen to their body and their own biofeedback so they can start to learn their own metabolic blueprint and figure their shit out. Okay. So remember, and I mentioned this before, what you eat for breakfast is going to impact what you want to eat and what you will crave for lunch. And it will also impact the same for dinner. Now, I shared earlier what I ate for lunch. I had the cauliflower rice, the broccoli, a few slices of the yellow pepper, and then I had the chicken breast. Guess what I ate and guess what I wanted for like my mid-afternoon kind of meal pre-workout? The same thing. Because I ate that a little while before. Now, what am I craving right now? I'm hungry, right? So I worked out. I had a post workout snack. Dinner's coming. I want more of the same. You get my drift? Now, if I had eaten a bunch of food that was full of starch and, just kind of winging it throughout the day, I would want starchy shit like chips and salsa. That's one of my favorite things. Anybody that's been following me for a few years knows that chips and salsa is one of my faves, right? All right, so we must look at food as the long view, meaning how it's going to affect me later on in the day. So when you, my friend, are making your choices for your breakfast, you have to ask yourself, how is this going to affect me later versus just a meal to meal type of thing? This is why listening to what your body is telling you is so important. Hence the reason why I had given you the sheet so that you could log your foods, so that you can start to monitor your hunger, energy, and cravings and start to figure out what foods are speaking to you on a positive or negative way. Okay. So this right here is some example are some examples that encompass the foods that are going to help you to balance out those hormones. You've got things like, your eggs and vegetables and apples and nuts and your chicken breast, like I had showed earlier, your smoothie, all of those kinds of things. These are hormone balancing types of foods. You want to make sure that you are choosing wisely and that you are eating these foods. Now, one general rule of thumb that might help you would be if it didn't have a mother, or if it didn't come from the ground, then either don't eat it or have just small bites of it. If it didn't have a mother, or if it didn't come from the ground. So everything here falls in that, right? And so these are foods that are going to help you balance that blood sugar, right? It's going to keep you feeling like this all day long, All right. So I'm not sure what slide I had after. Okay. So that was my old presentation. Okay. So all of that said, my words of advice to you for right now is, if you find yourself in a position of, I just don't know what to eat, or, what to do or whatever. If I said to you, you need to do preemptive eating and you need to eat 6 meals starting tomorrow, most people would be like, excuse me, what? Now, with my clients, that is the suggested protocol, because we are trying to get the metabolism out of the dysfunction. Once we get their metabolism in a better place, then we start to back off with those meals. And then we start to just pay attention more so to the hunger, energy, and craving. So if somebody says to me, for example, well, I've been eating 6 meals a day and I have never felt better. Great. Awesome. Well, let's continue on. Or if another person says to me, I am having such a hard time eating these, this 6 times a day. It just isn't fitting into my lifestyle. And I feel like a stuffed sausage. Then what do? We're going to back off a little bit. Okay. So, and again, I will provide them like, okay, let's stick with this list of foods here that you can eat foods like in abundance. We're going to stick with this list over here, which you're going to eat those in smaller bites, and you're going to keep those, on a, more limitations as far as like nothing is off limits, nothing. And it never should be. It's just they eat certain foods in smaller amounts, if that makes sense. So it's my job as a coach to help them find tipping points with their protein, with their carbohydrates, and with their fats, so that they can keep their hunger, energy, and cravings balanced at all times. Okay, does that make sense? So I want you to comment with any questions that you have, but I also want you to tell me if you feel like you are somebody that is, give me a 1 if you are somebody that is currently in the eat less, exercise more mode, or if you feel like that's all you've ever known and that was what you always have done, that's been your good old standby. And if you are somebody that is already eating in this way, where we're eating just mostly whole foods, we're already paying attention, we're listening to our hunger, energy, and cravings, we know what works, we know what doesn't. So give me a 1 if you are in this eat less, exercise more, you find yourself starving and starting over all the time, or if you are somebody that is within the, already eating all of the whole foods and such. All right. So, wait a second here. I am on a delay here with you guys. So, okay, I see here. I'm seeing the numbers coming in. Yep. Gotcha. Okay. Perfect. Yep. Okay. So what questions do you have? I do have a few minutes here. Got about 5 more minutes for any questions. And again, even if you have questions from last night's live or from Monday night's live, please feel free to comment, and I'm here to to answer those questions for you. Otherwise, if there is, if you don't have any questions at all, then if you think of something later, you could always comment below and I can answer that. So very good. So yes, David, I know that you are on your journey and you are figuring things out, which is really great. So cool. Okay. I don't see any questions at this point in time. I'm going to give it 1 more minute because I know sometimes it takes a little time for people to ask questions. Okay. Yay. Hi, Lisa. Yep, exactly. So Lisa says, I have been a 1 forever, but now I'm working with Kelly and I'm getting out of that mode. Yay. Exactly. So awesome. You're doing great too, Lisa. Doing really, really great. Super excited for you. We've just begun. All right. Okay, so once it gets to 7:55, I am going to sign off, and then we will be meeting again tomorrow night. I hope all of this is making sense, you guys. And while you're still here, please, I need to make sure that you are following this information. I would like to know if you're understanding this. So if all of this is making sense to you, please put down understand or I'm confused. Put understand or confused, just so that I have an idea. You're welcome. Awesome. You're welcome, Ida. It's, you know, I can see myself on the Facebook, and it's like, I would say it's at least a 15-second delay. Awesome. You understand it. Very good. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Okay. So sounds great. Thank you so much for tuning in. You are very welcome, David. Super, super, super welcome. It's kind of cool to have a male participate. Awesome, Carol. Yay. Very good. Cool. Okay, you guys, have a wonderful night. Once again, please let me know if you have any questions. I am here for you, my friend. Just comment below. You can also private message me if you feel like it's something personal, and you know, are a little bit feeling a little uncomfortable with making the comment in the post. That's totally fine. And let me know if there's anything I can do for you. But otherwise, I will see you tomorrow night at 7:30. I hope that you are enjoying. I do hope that you are applying this information. I hope that your thoughts and thinking are beginning to shift. I do hope that you are looking at food completely differently and that you are starting to make just an overall change in the way that you are feeling as well. So have a wonderful night. You are so, so welcome. And we'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.